Now to this, investigations into the gruesome killing and mutilation of two Soweto boys continue. Now, while the community tries to come to terms with this callous act, the spotlight has once again fallen on the Manqoba police station. Residents in the area are asking for it to be shut down, saying police stations there rarely assist in resolving cases. No one has been arrested yet for the killing of the two boys, and the community is demanding justice. eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is following that story for us, and he joins us live now. Manqoba, I'm sure many are still desperately trying to find answers, as well as those who are now fearful for the lives of other children. You spoke to the father of the one survivor. What was he able to tell you?
Well, Marcel, the father of the young boy who survived this incident, of course, saying that he's equally still quite devastated and shocked by what happened here. Of course, you recall, Marcel, that this was a young boy that had, at the time, been playing with two of his friends, the two cousins, Tsiamondovu, as well as the other one, his name being... I just slipped my mind, Marcel, but of course they were playing at the time when they were abducted, and what we understand is that when they were playing, there had been a vehicle that had been just stationed close to where they were playing, at the park where they were playing, and according to the father, he's telling us that this is when the men had then come out of the vehicle and chased these boys. They ultimately managed to grab two of those boys, the 5-year-old as well as a 6-year-old. Ngobizita Zulu is his name. And we understand that that's when they then took them into this vehicle. This 5-year-old managed to escape. He was chased, we're told by his father, by one of the assailants who was carrying a knife. But he managed to run to his home, where, of course, upon arrival, we're told he was scolded. He even got a hiding from his parents. Well, only later, when he then revealed the details of what had happened on that day. Of course, at this particular point, the 5-year-old is even unaware, Marcel, that his two friends were brutally killed. And the father saying that, he's quite shocked, because this could have been his son that was killed on the day. And of course, he says that he feels pain for the fact that these boys used to play together, they were friends, and he feels the pain that these families are also feeling, and is looking, of course, at investigations. He says that his son is still quite traumatized by the incident. He even sometimes calls out the names of his friends, and he says what he saw happen that afternoon, the fact that there's an uncle that took his friends. At the time, he says that he saw them only taking one of his friends, Tiamo, and he says he still believes that the other friend is still safe, and that he did not get abducted by those criminals. But the father saying that even up until now he's still quite traumatized, and saying that they are hoping that these criminals will be arrested. Of course, he has had to move his son away from this area into another area, fearing for his life. But take a listen to how he described what his son told him.
Ngokwakhe mayesichazela bahambe ntambama nabangani bakhe laba bebeyi-3 bebonke bahambe bayodlala normally banokuyodlala ngase parking. So mayesitshela ke ukuthi maye bese parking kunemoto eblue athi velile, mayevele imoto eblue ngendlela asitshela ngayo ukuthi yabamba abangani bakhe. So yena he was managed ukuthi abaleke, then kwasibonisa elinye itshe athi uye wadakha ngalo ukuthi bengamboni. One of labantu ade babamba uthi uye wamjaha ngomese up until azawufika ejardini. So indlela athi uphephe ngayo. Nathi singazanga ukuthi at the age of 5 years ungakhona ukugijima usho umuntu omdala. So nathi sisenenkinga engqondweni ukuthi kahle kwenzakalani.
Now, what do we know so far about the police investigation? Any leads yet, or is it all rather underground at the moment?
Not at this point, Marcel. In fact, to understand that those investigations are still continuing. We did speak to police earlier on, who did indicate that there was no update as far as the investigations are concerned. That means that there's still no arrests that have been made so far. But I think what is coming to light is just some of the details surrounding this brutal murder. We heard, of course, of the blue vehicle that the boy claims is the one that was responsible, that had abducted these two boys. We're also hearing details that it was not one person, but it was two people that had given chase to these boys and ultimately took these boys. Of course, this young boy is also going to play a crucial part as far as the police investigations are concerned. He's still very young, and some of the details, of course, he cannot recall, but we understand that the social workers are also assisting as far as the trauma is concerned, and also they're working alongside the parents as well as the young boy to try and get as much information from him as to what really happened, and if they can try and identify those that are behind this crime. But I can tell you, Marcel, that it has left community members here shattered, and it has left many here fearful. We're talking to some of the parents who are telling us that they're even scared for their children to be out on the streets, even in broad daylight, because they don't know whether these criminals are still at large. They don't know whether they're still around the area, and they are saying, Marcel, that they just want to see some action as far as the arrests are concerned. And earlier on, we also saw some community members even taking matters into their own hands, cleaning some of the areas here, cutting the long grass, making sure that criminals here do not have a place to hide. And as you can see, Marcel, even outside these houses, there's still many community members that are gathered here that are coming in support of the family and saying that they'll want to see those behind this incident being put behind bars. But earlier on, we did speak to one of the pastors that was here just to come and support the families. And of course, they're still saying that they're still shocked and devastated by what happened here. But take a listen to what she had to say.
That is so evil. I don't know what has happened to our people for a person just to, the question that I ask myself, the person that was killing these babies, do you have children? Because if you have children, really, you must have conscience, So, yeah, it's a very painful situation. And, we are worried about the safety of our children, the safety of our women in our societies. I was saying this morning, I said the children need to express themselves by playing. Playing is part of development. But now it looks like we are going to be forced to keep our children locked in houses. How are our children going to develop if this is... Every time we must be fearful that when a child go outside, and I mean, it's not like as parents we must spend the whole day watching our children, because I mean, if you look at this situation, it's not like parents were negligent. It's 1 minute you lose focus of watching them. These are children. They decided to go play, because for them they don't see anything wrong to go play. And this has happened. This is so painful. I was just saying to the communities of Soweto and all over the place, they must give the support. Emotional support is really needed, even for the child that survived. This child can't stop talking about his friends. So you can imagine what's going to happen to this child.
Indeed, we can only imagine what those families and indeed that community is going through right now as they literally fear for the lives of their children. Manqoba Mchunu reporting live for us there from Soweto. Thank you so much for that update.